Hey, this is Deepak here, and in this lesson, we are going to have a look at how to create your content in such a way that it is friendly to the search engines and as well as the users. So, let's get started. In general, having a good user experience on the site is very important. If someone visits your site and if he or she is not able to access your content with ease, then you can say that it's obvious that the search engines will also not like it. So you should always put the first preference to user experience, and then you should look at how search engines will look at your pages as well. So for example, if you have a website which is loading very slow, or if you have a website which is not optimized for mobile phones, then it is very obvious that the users are not going to have a good experience. Some of the other things that you need to take care of, you should not have multiple pages of the same content. So you would have seen that certain websites have a very viral content. It could be something like 5 tips to, or 7 ways to, or 10 things, and they will make it in such a way that all the 10 different things are available in separate pages and you have to keep clicking next every time. So that is not a good user experience, and many people do it to increase their ad impressions and increase their page views, to artificially kind of inflate the page views, because it's the same user, and if he's seeing an ad or not seeing an ad, it doesn't change with multiple page views. So do not do pagination, and do not block your content. Like for example, you might have seen an exit pop-up in my blog, but this exit pop-up comes only when someone tries to exit. It does not block the content as soon as a visitor visits the website, and there is no bad user experience there. So in general, these two things that you have to follow. You should have a clear title for your blog post, and then you can wrap your headings in H1 and H2 tags. In general, if you are using WordPress, this is done by default because WordPress is very SEO friendly and optimized for the search engines. You can include the target keywords and make it occur in a natural way. So there is no set percentage of what percentage of those target keywords you should have on your website. So if you are naturally writing an article about some topic, like for example, if I am writing an article about Facebook ads, and if I am writing a 2000 word article, in a natural way, the keyword density will be around 2 to 3%. So that is the most natural way. There are a few tools where you can check the keyword density. So you can go ahead, search for such tools on the web. Go ahead, include your article and include the target keyword. So these tools will tell you what percentage of keywords you have. Take care that the keyword density does not go above 5% or 10%, because then it would look very spammy to the search engines, and there might be a risk of search engines penalizing your website. If you are uploading images, make sure you compress the images as we have discussed before, and also make sure that the image names are relevant to the article that you are writing on. For example, if I am writing an article on search engines and if I am putting a screenshot in the blog post, so here the file name of this image will also be something like search engines or SEO or something related to that. Alt tags are something that you can set inside WordPress when you upload the image as well. Right side you will have an option to include an alt tag. So in the alt tags, so alt tags are basically they are called alternate tags. So when the image does not load, the tags will have a description of what the image is about. For example, if I am including a screenshot of my Google Analytics or Google Analytics or Search Console, then I would enter the alt tag as Google Analytics screenshot or Search Console screenshot or something like that. Make sure that the content on the page is rich. In the previous video, I showed you an example where for the keyword Google AdWords certification, I am ranking on number 3. So inside this article, you would have also seen that I have included a YouTube video, embedded a YouTube video. So if you include slides and videos, what it does is that it gives richer content. It gives more user engagement, so the user is spending more time on your website, and these are all good signals that is received by the search engines, and they will be able to rank your pages higher. Create good engagement. Make sure that the content is in such a way that the users spend more time. You encourage the users to share it on social media, and make sure that your web page also has a low bounce rate. So if you have a very clear layout for your web page, and if users can find what they need, then users will spend more time on the site, so here the bounce rate will automatically be low. So Google will track. So some people say that Google does not track all these metrics, but many SEO experts do say that Google tracks these metrics through a variety of methods. They have the Chrome browser, they have Google Analytics with themselves. It is owned by Google, and there is also something called Google Safe Search, which is an algorithm that even Firefox and Safari use to kind of filter out the bad websites from the internet. And there are some experts who claim that Google can also track metrics like time spent on site, the behavior on the site, and things like that, even if someone is using other browser and even if they don't have Google Analytics account. So that's about it for the other criteria that influences your on-page optimization. So let me have a look at my own website. I will show you one of my blog posts and discuss some of the topics that we discussed here on my page. So here I am in my blog. So what you see here is the SEO title, which is also the title which appears on the Google search result pages. And what you see here is the H1 tag title. This particular title can be different from this title, and inside WordPress settings you will be able to edit that. And then subheadings can be in the H2 tags. So here you can see that these are H2 tags and those were H1 tags. And if you have an image, make sure that the image is actually having a name which is relevant. For example, here it is opt-in chat related image. So I have made the image name as opt-in chat -questions. So the images should have the right alt tags, and also the image name also matters. So these are some of the aspects which govern on-page SEO, and obviously your page should load fast, your content should be of good quality so that people spend more time. And make sure that you do not write content trying to stuff keywords within your content. Just naturally let the article flow, and I believe that automatically the natural occurrences of the keyword will be spread throughout the article. So if opt-in chat is the keyword here, and if I search for opt-in chat, you can see that there are 11 occurrences of opt-in chat, and it's in a very natural way. So this was not intentional. I did not intend to place these keywords all over the article, but it occurs naturally while I am writing the article, because that's how natural language works. So that's about it for on-page SEO. So I will also upload a bonus video where we will discuss about how to do SEO within WordPress blogs. And in the next module, we will discuss about off-page SEO.